Hello investors, I'm Stuart Kruse and welcome to Kruse Asset Management Market Monday. It is earnings season and we're getting into the thick of things. 83% of companies that have reported so far have outperformed. This is up from the typical mid-70s range, so it's not a good time to be missing your earnings right now. We've seen when companies miss their earnings, they get punished quite a bit. So up this week we have some big companies like IBM, Tesla, Verizon, and Netflix. So up on the screen right now, I have IBM with, in the purple are the estimates and in the orange are the reported earnings. So we're looking for future earnings of IBM to pretty much zoom up in the fourth quarter. And let's take a look and add Netflix to the top of this. So very similarly, we're looking for increased earnings, but then a little bit of a trail off in Q4. And Tesla has had some amazing earnings, mostly due towards energy credits, not so much due to their production. So we've had some great earnings surprises, but now the street is kind of caught out onto them, and now they have their work cut out for them. And Verizon is more of a kind of a steady as she goes. Looks like it's pretty much been right on track. So let's go through these one by one. Here we have the charts up by IBM. As you can see, in orange are the actual EPS, and in blue are the estimates. So you can see IBM pretty much is been in line, but you see this trend is rising up for the next 2 quarters. Looks like the street is expecting a lot more from IBM. And yet when we look at the revisions have been down and the pricing hasn't been that strong. So that might suggest that IBM is at a reasonable price and perhaps a good buy through here. Here's Netflix, and you can look through here. We've had outperformance in Netflix pretty consistently until the last couple quarters where we've underperformed. And yet the price has continued to rise in spite of this underperformance and in spite of this Q4 estimates being pretty low. So maybe Netflix is a little bit overbought here. Now here's Tesla, what we were talking about. They killed it here, underperformed, crushed it for 4 quarters in a row. Money of this is due towards environmental credits, but now the earnings per share estimate is above what it was last quarter and strong for the next foreseeable future. We've had some humongous price increases in Tesla. We're going to see if it got a little bit ahead of itself, and if it can't meet this number, my guess is it's going to get punished in the market considerably. And then you have Verizon, a stalwart, steady as she goes, pretty much right on top. You see Verizon has pretty consistently beat its earnings and continues to have very steady earnings estimates. So I wouldn't suspect Verizon to deviate very much from there. And you've had a pretty consistent price with a pretty consistent dividend and yield for Verizon. So be on the lookout for these things. As I said, when you have 83% of the companies outperforming their analyst estimates, when a company misses, it gets really beat up and sells off. So if you think there's going to be some volatility in that particular asset, perhaps you want to put on a option spread strategy in order to make money on both ends. So if something that you're not familiar with, please reach out to us and schedule time to talk to us about how we might be able to use that to improve and enhance your portfolio yield. This is Stuart Kruse signing off from Market Mondays, and remember to always invest with the odds in your favor.